This video will change how you show up on camera, especially if you're over 40. I'm going to walk you through exactly what works, the real stuff that's going to help you feel natural and grounded and present on the camera.
It's not awkward at all.
Now, these are the things that I have learned to do as an over 40-year-old live streamer. I've spent thousands of hours on camera on Twitch. And if you're new here, I'm Lavonda. I help creative folks over 40 show up online, whether that's streaming on Twitch or creating content on YouTube. And if you're returning, thank you so much for being here and for helping me grow on YouTube. So part one of unlocking your confidence around film is to set yourself up for confidence. So I always start with lighting first. Light can be simple, but it's also really powerful. Bad lighting is going to create really harsh shadows and will emphasize things that maybe don't even bother you in real life or that you simply don't notice. But if you do simple things like face the window or use a ring light or all the things that you already know, just do it. Make sure that your light is coming up from above. I always have mine on the side. There's one over here because it gives some nice depth on my other side. And then I have one that's also above the camera over there. It's so weird to age, especially as a woman, because there's so much value placed on our beauty and youth in this culture. And it can be tricky when we're filming and we have to watch back and we might see our flaws and stuff. And, I try to own that and lean into my own aging, and I want other people to do the same. But there's nothing wrong with having that flattering light to bring out your natural beauty. So again, key light on the side, maybe a light above the camera. You don't have to overdo it. Now for me, it's a little bit trickier because I have all of these LED lights going on, but that probably won't be for you. And when I'm over at my desk, I do the same thing. Bright light from the window, turn the key light. So the next thing that I like to do right before I hit record, I pause, smile, take a deep breath, and I picture someone that I love on the other side of the camera. Bonus points if you say their name. Dolly Parton. If you say their name, it kind of tricks your brain into having more of like a conversational dialogue and tone. And the reason we do this is because you're not talking to an algorithm, you're actually talking to real people. You're not performing, you're here trying to make a connection. And so when you do the little smile beforehand, that is going to be used for your thumbnail. And it's usually the best type of thumbnail because it's kind of natural and in the moment. Someone even has suggested putting a picture of that person that you love on the tripod so it reminds you that there's a real person over there. The next thing we're going to do is have a script. You don't need a full script unless that is going to make you feel more confident. But I think having that full script is sometimes what makes you feel awkward and stiff. So I would suggest like a strong outline. That being said, I always script out the intro because that is your grounding moment. And you don't want to mess around with the first few seconds of your video. You want to get the point across and you want to draw people in. We want to capture the attention of the viewer. After the intro, maybe put some bullet points like, little mental mile markers. And then I wouldn't even call it an outro of your video, but just something to like wrap up your final idea because it will sound more conversational and it's going to feel more natural to you and your audience. Next thing that we do is give our hands something to do. Now, this is the number one hack that helped me so much. You could hold a pen or maybe a whiteboard if you use it in your video, or like a mug, maybe even your glasses. And usually I have a microphone, but I didn't charge it in time and I really wanted to get this video going. So we're not delivering a TED Talk, we're just having a conversation. So act normal, act natural.
It's not awkward at all.
And speaking of your hands, make sure that you use them in your video so that it helps to convey your expression. Now let's talk about hair, makeup, and clothing. There's that saying, look good, feel good, right? And I like to think about it like getting ready for a date. Like you would shower and you would pick out your clothing and you would do your hair and your makeup. And, maybe you're going to wear something that makes you feel confident and sexy. And to be honest, I'm 52, and at this point in my life, I just want to feel comfortable. But do whatever you can do to help boost your self-esteem. Like, even though I'm in a sweatshirt, I am in my lucky underwear. Because how you feel is going to lead into your energy. Your energy is really important because you don't want to be monotone and seem disinterested, right? That's even hard to do it like that. But something that always boosts my energy before I start filming is to remember why I'm filming. I want to help other 40 plus creatives to build an online presence, whether that's on Twitch or YouTube or a podcast or whatever. And that gives me so much joy and energy to think about. Just thinking that I might help somebody is really, really powerful. So remember your why before you hit the record button. And if you're learning something from this video or it's inspiring you in any way, please hit the thumbs up and leave a comment because that just lets YouTube know that more folks like us should see it. Now that we have those two ideas in mind, part 2 is going to be about building your on-camera presence. So the first thing I want to teach you is this trick I learned from someone who works in Hollywood. I don't even remember where I got it, but it's so simple and I cannot believe it took me so long to figure it out. So if you want to stop second guessing every sentence or when you feel uncomfortable or awkward when you're trying to record a video, you just pretend that you're live. So that means no rewinding and no stopping. You're not allowed to reshoot it. You just have to go. And you're going to sound more like yourself because you're not over editing your personality in real time. You don't have to aim for being perfect. You just have to try to be present. Like I said, I've been live streaming for like 4 years. And mistakes happen all of the time. And when I made this connection, it like gave me permission to stop feeling so like perfectionistic. If I mess up, I just restart. I just move on because you can fix so many things in the editing. So give yourself some grace and just pretend like you're a news anchor or something. I think it's okay for people to see that you make mistakes. It just humanizes you. I think authenticity is what we as over 40 creators have in abundance. And so we should totally play to that strength. The next thing about presence is that you might need to switch up where you record. And this is something that I'm just starting to play around with. But like if your energy is feeling a little flat or your background is distracting or it feels stale, then you could switch it up to a new spot. You could try to stand versus sit. You could try a new corner of your space, like move to the kitchen or to the porch or wherever it is that you feel good. So I have a couple places that I shoot. One is the studio view that I use for when I live stream my DJ sets. And that's usually where I go when I want to film the intro because I'm standing and it helps me to just kind of get into that moment. And then I have this desk view. And that's when I want to have a more casual or conversational sort of a video, something where I might need my computer. And I just started to think about using another wall in my studio here. And the point is, you just need to find a space that's quiet and you feel comfortable and you feel good in. That's really going to boost your confidence. And if this all still feels like way too much of a leap, you're not going to like what I have to say, but you have to practice. You've got to practice all the time. You got to practice talking to a mirror. You got to practice talking to your camera. Sometimes I will talk into my voice notes when I'm driving in the car. It just helps me to get used to my voice and my pace and just the tone, and it just helps us. Sometimes I get on a roll when I'm talking in the car and I have a script almost written out by the time I've gotten to school. Oh, yeah, because I am also a school teacher. And I think that we sometimes forget that being on camera is a skill, but like all other skills, it's something that we can learn. Unlike our 20-something friends, we were not born with a cell phone in our hand. We, unlike them, don't have that innate ability to talk to the camera. But the only difference between them and us is that they've practiced it way more times. And I'm still learning and practicing too. And I imagine that a year from now, my camera presence is going to be so much better. And the best part about us creating content is that we can go back and we can look. We have a record of it. We're going to be able to see our growth and just give yourself a break. Remember that we're learning and we're learning later in life. And that doesn't mean that we miss the boat. It just means that we have deeper things to say once we get there. And if you're pumped up about trying some of these techniques to boost your camera confidence, but you're still struggling to know what you want to stream or record a video about or how to really get started, watch this video. I don't know, it's going to pop up one of these places and it's going to help you figure all that stuff out.
I don't know what this was.